My mother-in-law wore a wedding dress to my wedding, so I had her escorted out. My name is Emma, and I'm 29 years old. 3 months ago, I married the love of my life, Daniel. It should have been the happiest day of my life. And honestly, despite everything that happened, it kind of was, because it was the day my husband finally chose me over his mother. This is the story of how my mother-in-law showed up to my wedding in a full bridal gown, complete with a veil and her own photographer, and how she got exactly what she deserved. But to really understand how insane this situation was, I need to tell you about Catherine, my monster-in-law. Meet Catherine, the mother-in-law from hell, Catherine Morrison. 56 years old, divorced for 15 years, and absolutely, completely obsessed with her only son, Daniel. I'm not using obsessed as hyperbole. I mean, she is genuinely, unhealthily fixated on him in a way that makes everyone uncomfortable. When Daniel and I started dating 4 years ago, the red flags were immediate. On our third date, Catherine called him 11 times. 11. During a 2-hour dinner. When he finally answered, because she kept calling, she was worried because he hadn't checked in with her. He was 31 years old. She had a key to his apartment and would let herself in without warning. I once stayed over on a Saturday morning, and she walked in at 7 a.m. with groceries to make him breakfast. She saw me there in his t-shirt and looked at me like I'd murdered her dog. Daniel doesn't like scrambled eggs that way, she told me later after making him breakfast while I sat there awkwardly. He prefers them with milk, not cream. I'll write down his preferences for you. She actually made me a list. A typed, laminated list of Daniel's favorite foods, his allergies, he has none, his preferred thermostat temperature, 72 degrees, and what time he likes to go to bed, 10 p.m. I should have run. I know that now. But I loved Daniel, and Daniel, for all his wonderful qualities, had been so conditioned by his mother that he couldn't see how abnormal her behavior was. The engagement, where it got worse when Daniel proposed at a restaurant, very sweet, very normal. The first thing he did after I said yes was call his mother. Not his dad. Not his best friend. His mother. She cried on the phone. Happy tears, I thought at first. But when we went to her house the next day to celebrate, she pulled me aside while Daniel was in the bathroom. You know he'll always need me, right? She said quietly. I'm his mother. That bond can never be broken. Whatever you two have, it's temporary compared to what we have. I stared at her. I'm going to be his wife. And I carried him in my body for 9 months. I gave him life. You're just the woman he's choosing right now. Right now. Like our marriage was a phase he'd grow out of. I told Daniel about the conversation. He sighed and said, That's just how she is. She doesn't mean anything by it. She's just nervous about losing me. She should be losing you, I said. You're getting married. You're supposed to leave and cleave, not stay attached to your mother. Can you just try to get along with her? For me? I tried. I really did. Wedding planning, the battles begin. Catherine wanted to be involved in everything. And I mean everything. She had opinions on the venue, didn't like it, too modern. The flowers, roses were overdone. My dress, too revealing, it had a sweetheart neckline. The guest list, we needed to invite all of Daniel's second cousins he'd never met. And even our honeymoon destination, Hawaii, was too cliche. Every decision was a fight. Daniel always wanted to compromise, which meant giving his mother what she wanted half the time. The seating chart was a nightmare. Catherine demanded to sit at the head table with us. When I explained that the head table was just for the wedding party, she said, I'm the mother of the groom. I should be up there with my son on his special day. It's our special day, I corrected. Yours and Daniel's was 32 years ago. She didn't like that. We compromised. I gave in, by putting her at a table right in front of the head table, close enough to stare at us all night, apparently. The worst fight was about the mother-son dance. Catherine wanted it to be the first dance of the reception, before the bride and groom's first dance. The mother-son bond should be honored first, she said. It came before your relationship with him. Absolutely not, I said. That was my line in the sand. The bride and groom dance first, but that's traditional. That's normal. That's how it's going to be. She called me a cold, selfish girl and hung up on me. Daniel convinced her to accept the normal order. Our first dance, then father-daughter dance, then mother-son dance. But she wasn't happy about it. 3 weeks before the dress conversation. 3 weeks before the wedding, we had a final planning meeting at Catherine's house. She wanted to show us her outfit for the wedding. I wanted your approval, she said to Daniel. Not to me. To Daniel. She disappeared into her bedroom and came out in a dress. It was cream. Ivory, really. With lace overlay, tea-length. It was beautiful. It was also absolutely, definitely a wedding dress. Not a mother of the groom dress. A bridal gown. Mom, Daniel said slowly, that's a little white. It's ivory, she corrected, and it's my special tribute to you. You always said I looked beautiful in light colors. It looks like a wedding dress, I said. Don't be ridiculous. It's clearly different from yours. Yours is floor length. This is tea length. Completely different. It's white, I said. You're wearing white to my wedding. Ivory, she said again, and I think I have the right to wear what makes me feel beautiful at my son's wedding. This is a special day for me, too. I'm not just some guest. I'm the mother of the groom. Catherine, I said, trying to stay calm, the bride wears white. That's the one rule everyone knows. Guests don't wear white to weddings. This isn't white, it's ivory, I know. It's still in the white family. Please pick something else. Anything else. Blue, purple, pink, literally any other color. She looked at Daniel. Are you going to let her talk to me this way? Daniel, bless him, tried. Mom, Emma's right. Maybe you should pick a different dress. We don't want any confusion. Confusion? Who's going to be confused about who the bride is? Don't be absurd. Mom, I'm wearing this dress, Daniel. I've already had it altered. It cost me $800. I'm not buying another one because your fiancé is insecure. I wanted to scream. Instead, I said very calmly, if you wear that dress to my wedding, you won't be allowed in. She laughed. Actually laughed. You can't ban the mother of the groom from the wedding. Watch me. Daniel, are you hearing this? She's threatening to ban your mother from your wedding. Daniel looked between us, clearly panicking. Let's all just calm down. Mom, can you please just pick a different dress? To keep the peace? No, Catherine said. I'm wearing this, and if Emma has a problem with it, maybe she should examine why she's so threatened by me. I left. Just walked out. Daniel followed me to the car, apologizing, promising he'd handle it. She won't actually wear it, he said. She's just being dramatic. On the day, she'll wear something appropriate. I promise. I didn't believe him. But what could I do? Cancel the wedding over a dress? The contingency plan, I called my maid of honor, Jessica, that night. She's going to wear it, I said. I know she is. She's going to show up in a wedding dress. Then we'll handle it, Jessica said. Give me a budget. I'll hire security. I loved her so much in that moment. We hired 2 security guards for the wedding. Professional, discreet. I briefed them. If anyone shows up in white, ivory, cream, or anything that looks remotely bridal, you stop them at the door. You escort them out if necessary. I don't care who they are. The head guard, Marcus, was a big guy with the most reassuring energy. Ma'am, we've done this before. Mother-in-laws in white are more common than you'd think. We've got you covered. I also told my photographer, my videographer, and my wedding planner. Everyone was on alert. Daniel thought I was overreacting. She won't do it, he kept saying. You'll see. But the wedding day. Morning. The morning of the wedding was chaos in the best way. Hair, makeup, getting into my dress, photos with my bridesmaids. I was happy, excited, nervous about the normal things, tripping, forgetting my vows, whether the weather would hold. I wasn't thinking about Catherine until Jessica came into the bridal suite with a weird look on her face. So, she said, your mother-in-law just posted on Facebook. She showed me her phone. Catherine had posted a photo of herself, clearly taken that morning, with the caption, getting ready for the most important day of my life. My baby boy is getting married. Mother of the groom, proud mom, special day. In the photo, she was in a hair salon. Her hair was in an elaborate updo, with flowers woven into it. Baby's breath. Brides wear baby's breath in their hair. She's really doing it, I said. Looks like it, Jessica agreed. But we're ready. Marcus is at the front entrance. Nobody in white gets past him. I tried to push it out of my mind. This was my wedding day. I wasn't going to let Catherine ruin it. The ceremony? Pre-show. The ceremony was at 4 p.m. By 3:30, all the guests had arrived and been seated. I was in the bridal suite with my bridesmaids waiting for our cue. My wedding planner, Sarah, knocked on the door. She looked stressed. Emma, we have a situation. My heart sank. Catherine. She's here, and she's in a wedding dress. Full wedding dress, floor length, white lace, veil, the works. Marcus stopped her at the entrance like you instructed. Where is she now? In the parking lot, with Daniel, and she's causing a scene. I looked at Jessica. Go. Jessica and my bridesmaids left to handle it. I stayed in the bridal suite because there was no way I was letting Catherine see me before the ceremony. That's what she'd want, to ruin that moment too. What I learned later, Catherine had shown up in a dress that was even more bridal than her cream one from 3 weeks ago. This one was full length, pure white, with a lace train. She wore a veil, a fingertip-length veil with lace trim. She looked like a bride from the 1980s. And she'd brought a photographer, her own personal photographer, to follow her around and take pictures of her at her son's wedding. Marcus, the security guard, stopped her at the entrance. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but the bride has requested that no guests wear white. I'm not a guest, Catherine said. I'm the mother of the groom. I understand, ma'am, but the policy applies to everyone. Let me through. My son is getting married. I need to be there. I can't do that, ma'am. That's when Catherine started yelling, loud enough that Daniel, who was in the groom's suite, heard her and came running. The confrontation, part 1. This part I heard about from 6 different people who all told me slightly different versions, but the core facts are the same. Daniel came outside and saw his mother in a wedding dress. Veil. Photographer. The whole production. Mom, what are you wearing? My dress. Don't I look beautiful? I wanted to match the formality of the occasion. You look like a bride. Don't be silly. My dress is completely different from Emma's. How do you know? You haven't seen Emma's dress. I assumed. Mom, you can't wear that. Please go home and change. I'm not going anywhere. This is my son's wedding. I have every right to be here. Jessica arrived at this point. Catherine, you need to leave. Who do you think you are? I'm the maid of honor, and you're not coming into this wedding dressed like that. Daniel, are you going to let them treat me this way? And here's the moment. The big moment, the one I've been building to. Daniel looked at his mother, really looked at her, at the white dress, the veil, the photographer, the absolute audacity. And he said, Mom, you need to leave. Catherine's face went white. What? You heard me. Go home. Change. Come back in something appropriate, or don't come back at all. Daniel, I'm your mother. And Emma is about to be my wife. My wife, Mom. Not my girlfriend, not my fiancée. My wife. And if you can't respect her on our wedding day, then you don't respect me either. That's not fair. You wore a wedding dress to my wedding. You brought your own photographer. You're trying to make today about you instead of about us. That's not okay. I just wanted to feel special. It's not your day to feel special. It's Emma's day. Emma's and mine, not yours. Catherine started crying. I can't believe you're choosing her over me. I'm not choosing her over you. I'm choosing us. My marriage. My future. And if you can't support that, then you don't need to be here. Jessica told me later that Catherine's expression went through about 5 different emotions in 3 seconds. Shock, anger, hurt, rage, and finally, calculation. Fine, Catherine said. I'll go change. Thank you, Daniel said. Catherine turned to her photographer. Come on, we need to leave. They started walking toward the parking lot. Everyone thought it was over. It wasn't over. The meltdown. Caught on camera. Here's what Catherine didn't know. My videographer, Tom, had been filming the arrival area. He'd been instructed to capture guests arriving, candid pre-ceremony moments, that kind of thing. He captured everything. Catherine walked about 20 feet away, then stopped, turned around, and screamed at the top of her lungs, "You're ruining my life!" Everyone froze. I gave you everything, she screamed at Daniel. I sacrificed everything for you. I raised you alone after your father left. You were my world. And this is how you repay me? By embarrassing me? By throwing me out of your wedding? Mom, you're embarrassing yourself. No, you're embarrassing me. You and that bitch you're marrying. Several people gasped. Tom kept filming. She's turned you against me. She's poisoned your mind. You used to love me. You used to call me every day, and now you barely talk to me because of her. Mom, that's enough. It's not enough. Nothing is ever enough for her. She gets the wedding, she gets the dress, she gets you, and I get nothing. I'm your mother. I should be standing up there with you. I should be important. But no, I'm shoved to the side like I don't matter. You do matter. Then why am I being kicked out of my own son's wedding? Because you wore a wedding dress, Daniel shouted back, finally losing his patience. Because you can't let me have one day that isn't about you. Because you're so desperate for attention that you'd try to upstage the bride at her own wedding. Catherine's face crumpled. She let out this wail like a wounded animal. Her photographer was backing away slowly, clearly regretting all her life choices. I hate you, Catherine sobbed. I hate you. You're not my son anymore. You're dead to me. And then, I'm not kidding, she collapsed. Just dropped to her knees in the parking lot, sobbing, her white dress pooling around her. Her photographer took a picture. Daniel stared at his mother on the ground. Then he looked at Jessica. Get security to help her to her car. Make sure she leaves. Daniel. Catherine reached for him. I'll call you tomorrow, Mom. But you need to leave. Now. Marcus and the other security guard helped Catherine to her feet and escorted her to her car. She cried the entire way. Her photographer followed, still taking pictures. The whole thing took maybe 10 minutes. But it felt like hours. The ceremony. We did it. Daniel came to the bridal suite. We weren't supposed to see each other before the ceremony, but screw tradition at that point. He knocked. I opened the door. I'm so sorry, he said. His eyes were red. He'd been crying. Are you okay? I should be asking you that. Emma, I'm so sorry. You were right about her. You were right about all of it. I should have listened to you. I should have set boundaries years ago. I hugged him. We'll deal with it later. Right now, let's get married. Are you sure you still want to? Of course I still want to. I want to marry you, Daniel. Not your mother. You. He kissed me. I love you so much. I love you too. Now go. I'll see you at the altar. The ceremony was beautiful. I barely remember it. I was so full of adrenaline and emotion, but everyone said it was perfect. Daniel cried when he saw me. I cried during the vows. We both cried when we were pronounced husband and wife. Catherine wasn't there. The seat we'd reserved for her in the front row stayed empty. Daniel's dad moved over to fill the space. I thought about her during the ceremony, for about 5 seconds, and then I let it go. This was my day, mine and Daniel's. She didn't get to take it from us. The reception, the video. The reception was at a country club about 10 minutes from the ceremony venue. By the time we arrived, everyone knew what had happened. The gossip had spread like wildfire. People kept coming up to us, apologizing, asking if we were okay. We told everyone we were fine, and we were. During dinner, Jessica pulled me aside. You need to see something. She showed me Tom's footage on his camera. The entire parking lot meltdown. All of it. In high definition. Oh my God, I said. He got everything. Every word. The dress, the veil, her calling you a bitch, the collapse, all of it. That's... wow. Want to know the best part? Jessica was grinning. Her photographer? She was posting the photos on Catherine's Facebook page in real time. The whole meltdown is on social media. I looked at her phone. Catherine's Facebook page was public. The photographer had posted a whole album titled Mother of the Groom, Daniel's Wedding Day. The photos were insane. Catherine in her wedding dress, posing like a bride. Catherine with her hand on Daniel's arm from before the confrontation. Catherine looking candid and beautiful in the garden. And then, photos of the meltdown. Catherine crying. Catherine on her knees, Catherine being escorted away. The photographer had posted all of it. The comments were brutal. Why is the MEL dressed like a bride? This is psychotic behavior. The second-hand embarrassment I'm feeling right now. That poor bride. Imagine having this woman as your Mael. Someone needs therapy, and it's not the bride. There were over 200 comments already. The album had been shared 50 times. It's going viral, Jessica said. Like, actually viral. I should have felt bad. Part of me knew I should feel bad, but mostly I felt vindicated. The mother-son dance, the final stand. We did our first dance. My dad and I did the father-daughter dance. It was sweet and perfect, and I cried again. Then came the mother-son dance. Except there was no mother. The DJ announced it. And now the traditional mother-son dance. Daniel stood up, looked at the empty dance floor, and then he looked at me. Would you dance with me? He asked. It's supposed to be with your mom, I said. My mom chose not to be here. But you are. You're my family now. Dance with me? So we danced, to what was supposed to be his mother-son dance song. Just the two of us on the dance floor, everyone watching. When the song ended, everyone applauded. My mother-in-law, my actual mother-in-law, Daniel's dad's wife, came up to us afterward. That was beautiful, she said. She'd always been kind to me. And I'm sorry about Catherine. She's not well. She hasn't been for a long time. I know, Daniel said. I'm starting to see that. The aftermath. The next day, we left for our honeymoon the next morning. Bali, our compromised destination after Catherine shot down Hawaii. On the plane, Daniel checked his phone before putting it in airplane mode. Oh no, he said. What? My mom's Facebook post has been shared over 2,000 times. It's on Twitter. Someone made a TikTok about it. Emma, we're viral. He showed me his phone. There were news articles. BuzzFeed had picked it up. Mother-in-law wears wedding dress to son's wedding, has epic meltdown when kicked out. The Ring doorbell camera subreddit had it. The wedding shaming groups. The entitled parents forums. Everywhere. Catherine's meltdown was the internet's entertainment for the day. How do you feel? I asked Daniel carefully. He was quiet for a moment. Honestly, kind of relieved. For years I've been making excuses for her, telling people she's just anxious or protective or whatever. And now everyone can see what I couldn't, what you've been seeing all along. She's your mom. It's okay to feel conflicted. I do, but I also feel free. Is that bad? No, it's honest. We put our phones away and tried to enjoy our honeymoon. We succeeded, mostly, though Daniel did have to turn off his phone entirely after the third day because he couldn't stop checking the viral posts. 3 weeks later, the fallout. We came back from our honeymoon to find Catherine had been to our apartment. She'd left gifts, letters, apology cards. Daniel read them all. They ranged from, I'm so sorry, I don't know what came over me, to humiliated me and I'll never forgive you, sometimes within the same letter. He tried calling her. She didn't answer. He tried visiting. She wouldn't open the door. Finally, she sent an email, a long one. In it, she said, she was hurt and embarrassed. The viral videos and articles had ruined her reputation. Her friends were asking questions she couldn't answer. She'd been trying to make the day special for everyone. She wore white because it made her feel beautiful, and she thought we'd understand. She may have overreacted in the parking lot, but we'd pushed her to her breaking point. She wanted an apology from both of us. She wanted us to post a statement on social media defending her. She wanted us to have the viral content taken down, legally, if necessary. Is she serious? I asked after reading it. I think she genuinely believes she's the victim here, Daniel said. He wrote back. His email was shorter. Mom, I love you, but you wore a wedding dress to my wedding. You brought a photographer to compete with our wedding photographer. You called my wife a bitch in front of our guests. You said I was dead to you. Those are your choices and your actions. I don't control the internet, and I'm not going to apologize for your behavior going viral. When you're ready to genuinely apologize, without conditions or excuses, I'm willing to talk. Until then, Emma and I need space. Catherine responded in all caps. It wasn't productive. 6 weeks later, the therapy suggestion. Daniel started seeing a therapist. Partially because of the wedding, partially because he was realizing how much his mother's behavior had affected his entire life. After his third session, he came home and said, My therapist thinks my mom has narcissistic personality disorder. That makes sense, I said carefully. She said that the wedding dress thing is classic narcissistic behavior, making someone else's event about themselves, the meltdown when she didn't get her way, the victim mentality, all of it. How do you feel about that? Like things finally make sense, and also really sad, because if she'd gotten help years ago, maybe things would be different. His therapist suggested family therapy. Daniel asked Catherine. Catherine said therapy was for weak people, and that she didn't need some quack telling her how to parent her own son. So Daniel made a choice. He sent one final email. Mom, until you're willing to respect my marriage and get help for your behavior, I need to maintain distance. I'll always love you, but I can't have you in my life the way things are. The door is open if you're willing to change. She never responded. 3 months later. Now it's been 3 months since the wedding. Daniel and I are doing great. Marriage is good. We're happy. Catherine still hasn't apologized. She posts passive-aggressive things on Facebook sometimes, quotes about ungrateful children, links to articles about elder abuse, which is apparently what we're doing to her by setting boundaries. The viral video has mostly died down, though it resurfaces every few months when someone discovers it for the first time. There's a TikTok with 5 million views that uses the parking lot footage with dramatic music. Someone made a meme out of Catherine on her knees with the caption, "When the bride tells you not to wear white." Daniel's learned to laugh about it. Sort of. His dad, his actual dad, who left Catherine 20 years ago, called us after seeing the videos. "I should have warned you," he said. "She did something similar at my second wedding. Not quite as dramatic, but close. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but I'm proud of you for standing up to her." That call meant a lot to Daniel. As for me, I got the wedding I wanted. I married the man I love. I have a husband who finally chose me over his mother's dysfunction. And I have the most insane wedding story of anyone I know. What I learned? Here's what 3 months of processing has taught me. 1. Trust your instincts. I knew Catherine was a problem from day one. I second-guessed myself because Daniel couldn't see it. But I was right. If someone's behavior makes you uncomfortable, there's usually a reason. 2. You can't fix other people's parents. I spent years trying to win Catherine over. It was never going to work. She didn't want a daughter-in-law. She wanted her son to stay single and devoted to her forever. 3. Boundaries are not cruel. Setting boundaries with Catherine isn't mean or selfish. It's necessary. Healthy people respect boundaries. Unhealthy people see them as attacks. 4. Your partner needs to choose you. If Daniel hadn't stood up to his mother, our marriage would have failed. You can't build a life with someone who won't prioritize you over their dysfunctional family. 5. Document everything. I'm so grateful we had Tom filming. Without that footage, Catherine would be telling everyone her version of events and playing the victim. The video doesn't lie. 6. Sometimes people show you who they really are. Catherine showed us. The wedding dress, the meltdown, the refusal to apologize, that's who she is. We can accept that or keep being disappointed. We're choosing to accept it and keep our distance. 7. Going viral is weird. I still can't believe my mother-in-law's meltdown was international news for like 3 days. Strangers have opinions about my wedding. It's surreal. But at least the opinions validate that we weren't crazy for having her escorted out. To anyone dealing with a nightmare mother-in-law, if you're planning a wedding and you have a mother-in-law like Catherine, here's my advice. Hire security. Seriously, it was the best $500 we spent. Marcus handled everything professionally and kept the drama outside. Set clear boundaries early. Tell your mother-in-law what's acceptable and what's not. Put it in writing if necessary. No white at the wedding shouldn't be a controversial request. Get your partner on board. If your fiancé won't stand up to their mother, that's a problem. Address it before the wedding. Couples counseling if necessary. Have a plan. We had a contingency plan for if Catherine wore white. We briefed security, the photographer, the wedding planner. Everyone knew what to do. Don't negotiate with terrorists. Once Catherine put on that wedding dress, there was no compromise. She was trying to hijack our day. We shut it down. Let them experience consequences. Catherine's meltdown went viral. That's embarrassing for her, but it's also the consequence of her actions. We didn't create the consequences. She did. Protect your peace. Your wedding day is about you and your partner. Not your mother-in-law's feelings. Not family drama. Just you two. Protect that at all costs. The happy ending. Despite everything with Catherine, our wedding was beautiful. When I look at our photos, I don't see the drama. I see Daniel looking at me like I'm the only person in the world. I see our friends dancing. I see my dad crying during his speech. I see joy. Catherine isn't in any of the photos. Her empty seat at the ceremony isn't visible in the pictures. It's like she was never there, which, in a way, is fitting, because our marriage isn't about her. It never was. We're building a life together, just the two of us, and we're happy. Catherine can wear whatever she wants to, whatever events she wants, just not ours. We're done playing her games. Update edit. A lot of people are asking if we've reconciled with Catherine. The answer is no. She still hasn't genuinely apologized or shown any understanding of why what she did was wrong. Daniel maintains limited contact. He texts her on holidays, that kind of thing. But she's not welcome in our home, and we're not attending family events if she'll be there. His dad and stepmom understand. Update 2. Yes, the viral video is still online. No, we're not trying to get it taken down. Catherine's photographer posted it publicly on Catherine's own Facebook page. She can take it down herself if she wants. We're not responsible for managing her social media mistakes. Update 3. Edit. For those asking about the photographer, we don't know who hired her or how much Catherine paid. The photographer's website is still up, and the Mother of the Groom album is in her portfolio. I don't know if that's good advertising or terrible advertising for her business, but there it is. Update 4. The song we danced to for the mother-son dance was What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Daniel chose it because it felt hopeful and forward-looking. We figured we were starting our wonderful world together, and that was better than dwelling on his mother's absence.